Okay, so last time we were talking about the unit circle and um, talking about relating the degrees and radians on the circle just by really kind of reading them off. You know, you can tell that pi radians is 180 degrees, so there's an easy formula there. There's not an easy formula relating degrees to these points in general on the line, but we saw that we could use what we know about triangles to kind of find relate all these points to the angle measures. And now we're just looking for, and we also saw earlier that the arctangent can be used to, if we have a given point, to figure out what this arc length is going to be, and that'll give us the angle too. We can figure out from there. But what we need now is a way of starting with the arc length or the angle, and they're either radians or degrees measure, get the XY coordinates here. And for that we use two more trig functions called cosine and sine. So again, here's a unit circle. If we know the hypotenuse is 1, then the XY coordinates here are going to be the cosine. If this angle measured in radians, so in other words this arc length is theta, then the cosine of theta will give us our x coordinate, and the sine of theta will give us our y coordinate. And there are expansions, and these were also discovered around 1400 by the same Indian guy, Madhava. For the cosine, there's an infinite expansion, and again, this theta is just a Greek letters are used sometimes. You'll also see like cos x equals 1 minus x squared. It's just a variable. So theta is just a variable that's used a lot of times for angle measures. When you're measuring in. And here's sine. Okay, is a similar kind of expansion. And then the definitions for sine, cosine, and tangent. Remember, I said tangent is, or arctangent is the inverse function of tangent. So, but these are the definitions that you'll typically find in school. You'll see sine is, they say like opposite over the hypotenuse. Well, in our case, when we're looking at the unit circle, we know the length of the hypotenuse is 1. This is our radius. So really, we're just concerned with our y coordinate. So this AC, this line AC, gives us our y coordinate. So when we're looking at the unit circle, we're just thinking a y coordinate. If you're looking at a triangle, you're thinking opposite over hypotenuse for sine. For cosine, again, cosine gives us our x coordinate on the unit circle, and if the hypotenuse is if we're on the unit circle, then our hypotenuse here is a 1, okay, because we're just talking about this triangle, right? So if we're on the unit circle, our hypotenuse is 1, and we're just looking at, for the cosine, the x coordinate, so x over 1, that just gives us x, right? And y over 1 just gives us y. So that's the cosine and sine and cosine. And then so sine we associate with y, cosine we associate with x on the unit circle. And then tangent is y over x. Okay, and that's where you see for the so in other words, the tangent of this angle measured in radians gives us or equals this ratio. All right. So the input. So see, for the tangent, the input is a particular angle, and we get out the ratio of y and x. But remember, when we were looking at arctangent, if I can find it, yeah, arctangent was the opposite. So the input was the ratio of y to x, and the output was the angle in radians. Okay. All right. So that's the basic trig that you're going to need going forward. And I know this might have been a review for some of you, so I tried to make it a little bit different from what you typically see in school. So if you have any questions about any of this stuff, go ahead and shoot me an email.